USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
I am Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Soucy.
And we're paranormal specialists who live in the most haunted city on earth, Savannah, Georgia. Every day is Halloween in our line of work, so join us as we spin true tales of haunts, murders, and disturbing Savannah history. I'm Madison.
I'm Chris.
And welcome to the most haunted city on earth. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Most Haunted City on Earth. My name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Soucy.
And I'm that honey butter chicken biscuit.
Where do you come from?
Whataburger.
That's the best honey butter chicken biscuit. It really is. It's so good.
So good. I'm that one.
Yeah, it's a good thing that we have no Whataburgers anywhere near us because I would become
large.
What's the girl's name from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Violet Beauregard.
Yeah, that's what I'd become.
Yes.
But like after the blueberry.
Yeah. You would become a little blueberry, a little Whataburger blueberry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But, all right, y'all, we have a lot of exciting announcements for today's episode before we get into our Ghost Con on camera. So first off, for the summer, starting in June, we are going to be doing something that we like to call Haunted City Summer. Woo! Woo! Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to be kicking it off because of just a wild idea that I got that I think will be fun. For the Parajunkies, we're going to be doing the 13 Fridays of horror movies. I've created a bucket list of all the movies I feel like y'all should watch for your summerween for every Friday. I'm going to create a nice little Discord chat on Patreon so that we can all talk about it. Maybe some of y'all can have watch parties together. Who knows? We'll have fun with it. There's going to be a film pick from me. There's also going to be a film pick from Chris because both of our birthdays are in the summer. They do not fall on Friday this year, but we will have a choice.
Close enough.
Close enough. And so if you want to be a part of that and join our little movie club of sorts, and join us over on Patreon.
Heck yeah.
Other than that, y'all, the ghost necklaces and earrings that are spell jars that I created from Country Witch Co., those are now on the website, which is hauntedcitypodcast.com. And these pieces are representative of our brand, but they also have metaphysical properties of grounding and protection and things of that nature. So great for when you go on investigations. But 100% of the proceeds from those pieces are going directly into our fund for ghosts so that we can go do more investigations for y'all all over the country in RV. Live on site investigation and possibly interviews, podcast episodes, all the fun things. Mm-hmm. So if you feel so compelled, definitely check them out. They're very cute in my opinion. And then another big announcement, on May 28th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be having Colin Browen from the Paranormal Files on the show, which is super exciting. I'm sure many of you who listen to this podcast are probably familiar with him. He's one of the OGs of paranormal YouTube in general. Really cool content, really fantastic researcher. So we're super excited to have him on the show. He's kind of like, I guess, actually more so the kickoff of Haunted City Summer, in my opinion, because it's basically June. So that'll be super fun. It's going to be a fantastic episode. And
it is the first show after Memorial Day, which is technically the kickoff of summer.
Yeah,
right?
so there you go. Summerween. And if you want to have the chance to ask questions directly to Colin, definitely consider becoming a patron or a Parrot Junkie, if you will, because we will be live streaming for that just for the Parrot Junkies, and we always do a Q&A after our guests finish the episode. So it's a lot of fun. And then probably one of the biggest announcements that we have upcoming is we are going to be doing an investigation on June 25th, but not just any investigation. We are going to be investigating the old Tondi's Tavern building on 7 East Bay Street right here in Savannah. So mind you, a little bit of the history. Of course, we are going to be doing a deep dive before we go into the investigation, but a little bit about the history. The original Tondi's Tavern was on Broughton Street. That ended up burning down in the 1700s. And so the current Tondi's Tavern sign and where the restaurant used to be is in a totally different building. It was brought into light in 2013 to kind of commemorate the memory of the original Tondi's Tavern. But that building that they moved into is incredibly haunted, y'all.
Steeped in ghostly lore.
Yeah, it's intense. It actually was the place where the biggest slave seller in Savannah operated out of, and he kept many of those people down in the basement. And we went in there yesterday just to take a look at the building, and you can feel it down there. Yeah. You walk in and you just feel that's exactly the best way to describe it. So we are very hopeful that we're going to have some really great interactions when we go to do this investigation. We're going to be investigating all night long like we did at Waverly Hills, at the Conjuring House.
And this is like 100% exclusive to the podcast. Yeah, he was he's a fan. The new owner of the building is a fan of the TikTok that we have, and hit us up and was like, "Hey, you want to do an overnight? Let's go." And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
It's going to be so much fun. Yeah. The current owner actually operates a new restaurant called Bubba Garcia's, which is located in the building. So they were very generous to offer the space to us. And we are going to be live streaming this for the Parrot Junkies all night long. But for the first 2 hours, we are going to be doing a public live stream. So that way y'all could get a taste of how all of this goes down. And maybe you'll catch some of the fun investigation interactions that we'll probably get.
Yeah. But we're going all, what is it, like 8-9 hours?
Yeah, we're going to the wee hours of the morning.
We're doing it all with the Parrot Junkies. We're gonna be live, and I'm gonna have my backup battery on the iPhone and everything, y'all. Yeah. It's gonna be lit,
and you'll get to watch Chris and I at our sleep-deprived state at the end of the investigation do a recap that JT has us do every single time. It is delirious. It really is.
It's torture.
It is. It's torture because we can't keep our eyes open and we all feel like we're just like in a different planet. And JT's like, tell us about all of the experiences you had. And I'm like, I don't even know what day it is anymore. So yeah, if you want to see that, that's always a fun time, and that will be on the live as well if you make it that long. I know some of the Parrot Junkies do keep it going all night.
They do. They keep some Parrot Junkies will stay with us all night.
Yeah. So prepare your snacks, get to your comfy clothes, and let's go on a ghost hunt.
Oh yeah,
first one in a while. So this is gonna be a lot of fun, y'all.
I'm so lit. I'm so lit for this. It's like, I don't know. It's really cool going into a building that no one has investigated in a while.
It's been a long time.
Because, with Waverly Hills, I love Waverly Hills. Actually, Waverly Hills is going to make an appearance on this episode for the Ghost Caught on Camera in a minute. With Waverly Hills, it's like every single night there's new people investigating and talking to ghosts and all that. But this is like everything's been so dormant for so long that it's like we could really get some serious activity. So I'm lit about it.
Yeah.
The staff of Tondi's Tavern and now Bubba Garcia do absolutely have stories of hearing voices and things moving and that sensation. So it has been an incredibly active place for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. It's always been one of those places in Savannah when you think of spots that are haunted. I think we actually mentioned it in some of our most haunted locations.
I think we have
episode. I believe we mentioned Tondi's Tavern because it is incredibly haunted.
It was the holding stalls for the slave auction that was held in Wright Square. So the tunnels that led from the water went straight to Wright Square, but they created these pins, and you can actually on the State Street side look to see like a staircase coming out of the ground to the street level, and that's where they would kind of like shuffle them up to put them on the auction block.
So as you can imagine, lots of energy going on there. So yeah, definitely mark your calendars, everybody, and we have all of that to look forward to. So with that all being said, let's get into our Ghost Caught on Camera episode, JT.
Let's do it.
Woot woot.
Did you get the shot?
I think I did. Yeah.
Let me see it.
Mark, you had your eyes closed.
Wait, what's that behind us?
It looks like a...
You guys? There's a ghost in the photo.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
And there's going to be ghosts in these photos.
Yes, there are. All right.
Took us by surprise. It's been a minute since we had an effect.
An effect. Yes.
All right.
So, all right. For those of y'all, if this is your first Ghost Caught on Camera, basically, I compile convincing photos from the internet, ones that are sent in to us, and more over a couple weeks, and then every couple weeks we have a Ghost Caught on Camera episode. They usually do extremely well statistics, and we love doing them, so we're going to keep it going. So
and
let's go ahead. Oh, yep.
JT's picking these photos, and JT is
nitpicky.
He's significantly more picky and I guess more suspicious of photos than Chris and I. So
yeah,
facts.
It's very, very true. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. Give me 1 second. Boopity boop boop boop. All right, so Madison and Chris, there's not much to read. There is a little post along with this, and it says, "I am very shy when it comes to photos, but can one make sense of this?" Go ahead and scroll down.
Oh, it's a Hat Man.
Caught on camera.
What are you doing, Hat Man?
He's like, just lurking.
I'm a lurker.
Here.
Just a lurker.
Yep.
That's like
That's a
super
solid,
clear Hat
solid
Man.
Hat Man. Yeah. I would definitely chalk that up to a Hat Man.
It looks just like a Hat Man.
Yeah.
Like
it's the classic Hat Man.
The quintessential Hat Man. Now, so let's see what else could it be, because we don't know if she just like maybe took the photo and is looking back at it and didn't notice something.
Well, I'm trying to figure out
back there, or is this actually the Hat Man?
What's happening with the light? Is she in front of a mirror? Is it a window? It looks like she's behind glass, right?
So, yeah, go ahead and zoom in. It looks like she's behind glass.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's behind glass, and it looks like the figure is also behind the glass. It's not like a reflection.
It's weird. Well, I'm wondering if it's not a selfie in a mirror. Mm. And the mirror just has a lot of streaks in it.
But it's like, you definitely...
Wait, what you mean? I'm sorry.
I'm talking about these light streaks that are all over it.
Oh, yeah.
Suggesting that it's either behind a window or that she's standing with a phone in her left hand, taking a picture.
Yeah.
And she cropped it so that we could see.
Yeah, I think that the window that we're seeing is a reflection of a window that's off camera.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because
Yeah.
it looks like I'm almost looking at an outside scene.
Yes.
In this, like I feel like I see trees and things like that. So the figure of Hat Man seems to be a shadow that is being cast by a window that is shining. So like light through a window is hitting what could be, a stack of paint cans.
Yeah.
But it's also...
but it's very lurky. It has a very lurky quality to it.
But
it is very lurky.
It's also...
Actually, get closer. Because now it almost looks like there's a face.
Oh, like a mustache or something?
So, with dark eyes and kind of a...
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, you can almost see like pockets where there would be eyes.
It's just like the shape of it is hard to chalk up to.
And the closer we get it, this is a dirty, dirty mirror.
Yeah.
It looks like someone gave up on cleaning the mirror.
It
like
is
halfway through, like wiping the mirror down. They're like, I'm done.
They're like, it's done.
It's not worth it.
But it's the hat especially.
The hat is so
convincing.
iconic.
It
Absolutely.
is. That's like...
Although that would make him pretty small by comparison, wouldn't it?
Maybe he baby hat man. He hat
Not
baby.
not he baby hat man.
He hat baby.
He could be a gnome in training.
Ooh.
I got to get my pointy hat.
You just don't see a lot of the reason I wanted to start out with this one. I was like, this one's gonna be a good to start out with, and I saved it. Is that like it is? We talk about Hat Man so much, but rarely do we ever see anything that even could be the Hat Man. So I thought it was super
There's
interesting.
not a lot of images of Hat Man. Most people draw Hat Man, so they've got a lot of drawings of Hat Man.
Right.
But as far as like photographic evidence, mostly because Hat Man appears to people in the middle of the night in their room, and people aren't like, I got my camera, chack.
Yeah.
This Hat Man. This will go into the information on Hat Man that we keep
our Hat Man
acquiring.
file.
Like this is
Because broad daylight Hat Man sightings are also not common.
No.
He does seem to be a nighttime lurker. He does seem to be an interior of your bedroom or right outside the window kind of lurker. So this is an interesting take.
This is early bird Hat Man.
Also, if you ever saw that Johnny Depp movie, Benny and June, he definitely looks like Benny from Benny and June.
No, he does.
He wore that little, what are those, pork pie hats?
It's a great photo, though.
It is a good photo. Now, the more I look at it, it looks like a man with long hair, wearing a hat and an overcoat, just kind of standing in the back, waiting for his chance to cause havoc. Is it just me, or does his body actually extend in front of this?
I was thinking that, too. It looks like there's a shadow over the storage box.
Yeah, like he's standing in front of the storage box so we can see straight through him. Although that might just be the case of a reflection.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't have a lot of room to move around here, so this will be my corner for a little while.
So
that's alarming, because if it's not Hat Man, then it's a creeper.
There's a
who is creeping up on you in the creepiest of
rather
creeper
be
ways.
Hat Man, right?
Yeah, Hat Man is generally
Jack the Ripper.
Like
if you're going to choose between a bear and a man, a bear and a Hat Man, Hat Man, go by Hat Man.
Yeah. Grief said, my wife saw Hat Man when she was a child. And then Pam S said, is there a vest man or like a 70s casual dude man? That's what I saw as a small child, which is...
Not 70s casual dude man. I love that.
Well,
I'm going to say that some people...
Hat Man might be fashionable. Like Hat Man would definitely look different in the 70s than he does right now.
You would think.
If he was Vest Man, that might just be Hat Man's cousin.
That's true.
Bruh.
Well, like Vest Man doesn't get as much attention, obviously.
Most people don't take him seriously because
Yeah.
he's just standing there in a vest, and
it's
hard to take a person in a vest seriously.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to park your car.
That's true. I don't think I've heard, like, specifically in the same way people talk about Hat Man, I don't think I've heard of anybody say Vest Man or
Generally
70s
speaking,
man.
we're very common to say things like woman in white and the gray lady and all these other things. But with men, it's just like, it was a man. And that's pretty much what you get. It's like, there was a man standing, or there's a figure, a masculine figure, a man figure. And so Hat Man gets an accessory.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
You're never like, it was the gold earring guy,
Or it could have been
the hook for a hand is a pretty solid one, but usually that's like a living killer.
Yeah.
The guy with the hook for a hand.
Beware the man with hooks.
Beware the man with hooks. All right, y'all ready to go on to the next one?
Bring us the next one.
Just a real quick
Puffy Vest
segue.
I like Puffy Vest Man. That's good.
Puffy Vest Man.
Minnesota Puffy Vest Man.
Disco stew. Yes.
Just quick little segue. Chris, have you ever heard of Spook Bridge? It's in Quitman, Georgia.
So here's the weird thing. I'm so familiar with so many bridges. Like, honestly, there's a Crybaby Bridge in over the South Carolina border, and there's a Crybaby Bridge down in Florida. There are countless ones. No, tell me about Spook Bridge.
So Spook Bridge is this, because I'm always looking for. We're saving up for an RV, so everything's pretty regional right now for where we can visit. So I'm looking at Quitman, Georgia, right? I'm from Tallahassee. We could stay in Tallahassee and just head up to Quitman, all that. And I found this haunted place called Spook Bridge, and what it is just basically an old broke down bridge in Lowndes County. It's actually on a county line with over the Withlacoochee River. And I did some research and contacted a few folks down there, and it is supposedly unbelievably haunted, but the land is now privately owned, and you will be arrested if you go to Spook Bridge, because the police supposedly patrol that area really heavily to keep kids from.
I was going to say
that sounds like Quitman.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and when you get a place like
that,
almost always the stories that follow are vandalism and accidents.
Yes,
because people are reckless and young people go out there, and if it's a bridge, you can almost guarantee someone's going to fall off that thing.
There was a murder,
and
it's 100%. Like I was thinking we should do a little mini episode. This is kind of what we're doing right now. But anyway, there was a murder, and the sheriff confirmed it. And it was supposedly a drug deal gone bad on the bridge.
Sure.
And then the lore is that there is a dilapidated house where a husband and wife lived. The husband shot his wife and killed himself right there. I guess after he shot his wife, he threw her in the river, and she's constantly trying to climb up the bridge, and people see her hands on the side of the bridge.
Wait, is this the house in Quitman?
No, completely separate merge in Quitman. I know these are like the only two, but
is it right off the main road?
It's right off the main road.
Yeah, I do know this.
You do know it?
Yes.
I figured you would.
Yeah. But that's terrifying.
I actually,
it's right off.
We
Quitman
went
Highway.
there like many moons
You've
ago.
been there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because you could just pull right
before
off.
they were arresting folks.
And, yes. This is 20 plus years ago. But I do remember like that story. I was like, oh yeah, I think I remember this. And you couldn't go out on the bridge, or conceptually you couldn't go out on the bridge, but you could pull right off the road, and there it was.
Yeah.
Weird.
So I'm hitting the cops up, and I'm going to see if I could pay for a police officer's time to escort us over there. And I also know who owns the land, and I'm going to hit them up and see if I can't get dual permissions for us to go just see it, because supposedly it's mega haunted.
Sure.
Like mega haunted.
If there's ladies in the river trying to pull you under, that sounds great.
That's a story.
No, supposedly. So she's not trying to get you. She's trying to get up to the top.
Oh.
Right. And she just forever cannot. That's stuck in this limbo hell.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I know. Anyway, all right,
also
next
like
one.
the number one.
Moving along.
I just thought it was such a fun story.
That's a serious story, yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, you ready to go down to the next one? This is Savannah, Georgia, y'all. Oh, yeah. So, took this photo while on a historical tour in Savannah, Georgia at about 10:30 p.m. at night. This cemetery is in the middle of downtown, and it was a full moon.
I know.
It was a full moon. Lots of lights in the city and in the cemetery. And they kindly drew an arrow to what he's referring to. So go ahead and zoom in.
Yes, I'm so glad somebody else caught the kid in the cemetery.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is one of my favorite stories about Colonial Park.
Cool.
So this kid supposedly died over, that playground, which is very Savannah, to put a playground on the fence line of the cemetery. Mind you, whatever. So the kid died over on the playground area, and there is a phenomenal video from
it's running and goes straight up in the air.
Yeah, where it's a child running through Colonial Park Cemetery. It stops at one of the oak trees and just jumps up and disappears into the tree. It's so good, and it was put on YouTube like back when I think people weren't manipulating stuff.
Featured on one of those Ghosts Caught on Tape like way back in the days. But yeah, it was a super viral video.
Yeah, and I am almost certain that is what he caught.
And one of the most interesting things too is a lot of people who walk their dogs around the cemetery at night have heard a child asking if they can pet the dog, but when they turn to look, there's no child there.
Oh.
So you hear a lot of, "Can I pet your dog?" And they turn and they look, and there's nobody there.
Dogs in general just don't like Colonial Park Cemetery for the most part, at night, I should say. They freak.
I was walking a Ranger, my older dog, around the park, and when we were there in the dueling ground area, Ranger just like sat. But the way he sat was definitely like someone told him to sit. It wasn't like I'm going to sit. It was like I'm obeying a command. You can always tell the difference between when a dog just wants to sit and when it's been told to sit. It's almost like a jerky motion to it.
I'm trying to see if this is a head. It's kind of blurry, so it's a bit difficult to tell if that's a headstone or if that's a part of one of the sunken-in crypts.
Yeah,
because he looks almost like he's either behind a headstone
or
like
he's behind the headstone.
Yeah,
or something.
All the pixelation is the exact same with the boy and the photo, which is why I included this because arguably, if you wanted to, it's not hard to Photoshop a little boy with 70% opacity into a photo, but the fact that all of the pixels match, that's very interesting.
I'm telling you, I'm just so glad somebody else caught this because it gives a little bit more validation to that one video, which a bunch of other cities have tried to claim is their story, but it's not. It is Savannah's, and this is proof, everybody.
Proof.
Yeah, we went to St. Augustine, and they tried to tell that story. I'm like, absolutely not. Nope, that's Savannah.
We will not have that.
We will not have that.
So, yeah. So I thought that was
a great photo.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it's like that cemetery always has weird energy at night. If you're there, especially on a full moon, take photos into the cemetery. You can't go in after sunset or whenever
8 p.m.
Yeah, whenever they feel like locking it, basically. But
although every now and then the gates open and you can just wander in.
Every now and then,
every now and then,
true.
And that's
somebody messes up their job.
Yes. Or in October, sometimes they'll leave it open a little bit longer for people to walk through. But you can very easily take photos through the fence line. So, yeah, that's great. Thank you to whoever posted this. That is a phenomenal photo. I'm very excited about.
I can tell. That's great.
Well, it's a great story.
I'm excited that you're so lit about it. I'm like, okay, very cool. All right. Well, you ready to go on to the next one?
Yes.
All right. So my dude over here, y'all can go ahead and scroll on down. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So this...
It's like immediately catches your eye.
So this person's name is Tracy. And I'm going to go ahead and send it over to the Pair Junkies. Take a look, Pair Junkies.
Wait till you get a load of that.
We took this picture where the nurse hung herself, and it seems normal. Then there's the zoomed in one. No one living was behind us. We were actually in the back of the group. So
this is Waverly
Hills. Here's what I'm going to show y'all that's going to freak y'all the hell out. Bam. Go ahead and scroll on down and take a look at that.
Oh, that's wild.
Oh, that's the Waverly Hills nurse, y'all.
That's wild.
Right?
No, that's phenomenal.
That's a phenomenal capture.
Wow. Super unfortunate, but...
Yeah, because on first blush, you're like, Damon! But if you lighten it, you get a very solid face, neck, neckline.
And especially because it looks like she would have had dark hair. So it makes sense because it is dark in there at night. So it would make a lot of sense if her hair kind of, blended in with the darkness around her.
Yeah.
But that is...
It's wild,
That's
isn't it?
pretty stark. Like the nose, too.
Yep.
It's... that's wild.
That's amazing.
And that was
Imagine...
right there on the 5th floor.
And imagine taking that photo just casually and then flipping it around and being like, oh, look how cute we are.
Yeah, it makes
that
me
would
want
be
to...
terrifying.
So it actually makes me want to go back to Waverly and take a ton of selfies.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I feel like as we go, like when we go to 7 East Bay Street, we should take some selfies.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And see what's in the background, because I feel like that is a good way to capture when the ghost is not the focus. I feel like that might be a way to capture something.
Yeah.
Maybe they are like, oh, I'm not the focus. I don't have to like hide myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I feel like when we went, she was like a little overpowered, if you will, by Tim. If you were there, you would know that Tim just like hogged everything.
Yeah, if you watch the documentary, you haven't watched the documentary, you can go on YouTube. We made a whole, Debria cut a whole feature film together on it for our entire night.
Yeah. So, because we went up there specifically seeing if we could get in contact with this woman, especially because there seemed to have been local stories of people who lived in the area when all of this went down and they heard the rumors of it actually happening, which gave more credence to the actual idea of this being a real haunting. Because there's plenty of places where they're like, oh, there's a lady ghost. She probably hanged herself because her husband left or whatever. It's a really common story. But the fact that there's like actual people who live there who remember it going on, this is even more validation.
They said they were alone up there. So.
Oh, that's what happens.
Crazy.
That it's also kind of the general vibe when you walk around the building is that it feels like something's always just like a little bit behind you.
Yeah. It's very true.
That's amazing, though. That's incredible.
That is an incredible captcha. All right, y'all. We got one more. We just blown right through these.
Oh, boy.
All right, here we go. All right, partner. All right, so y'all go ahead and scroll on down. Now, Pair Junkies, it's gonna be real hard to see.
At first, I was like, oh, a wedding. And then look over here in the corner. It immediately sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh, yeah.
That's...
Oh, no, Skeletor. What are you doing there?
That's literally no good.
Yeah.
That's so not good.
Oh.
They didn't give any context to this?
Nope.
That is...
Well, let me check. Maybe,
that
let
is
me make
a
sure,
tired caterer is what we're looking at.
No, you know what? I'm sorry they did. Taken before a wedding, there were only 2 people in the room, both behind the camera. Yeah, that's it.
Oh. Well, this is...
that's death.
Yeah. Her face looks like it's rotting off. Like full-on zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm real fast throwing a cropped image on there just so people can see it.
What's interesting about it too is not only does it look like she has sunken in eye sockets with quite possibly no eye in one of them, and then it almost looks like her face is melting down at the chin area, which is very disturbing.
Yeah.
She's a creepo.
Yeah.
You have the hair that looks like it's been falling off. This is
or even a hood.
That's true.
It's weird because there's a very skull-like sensation to it. Because you can almost see like the curve of the front of the head. Almost like a shaved headline.
Which it very well could be. Like, she straight up looks like a zombie.
Yeah, she does look like a zombie.
If what you imagine a zombie to be, that's what she is. And it makes me wonder where this location is.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what a bizarre entity.
Yeah, it didn't say where. It did not say where it was. It reminded me of the Fitzpatrick ballroom.
Oh, sure.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure,
it just
sure,
gave
sure.
that vibe. I know it's not what it is, but it just reminded me of that.
A general ballroom.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is just such a specific type of entity that it makes you wonder why.
Why there?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, it looks like there's a second face too. If you look over there.
A smiling face in the
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Where?
If you
Just to the left. Well, yeah. Our left. It's right.
it looks like
Almost like a Native American now that I'm looking at it more.
Are we talking
Right.
about?
Very big
look
cheekbone.
zoom all the way in onto the lady and look to the left of like on screen left.
Just off of her shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, what the freak?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird, y'all.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. What?
It's pre-
Okay, so y'all look.
It's the zombie and Jigsaw.
Yeah.
It's
Yes, that's very pronounced cheekbone.
Like a little bit of a pointy chin.
Yeah. There's multiple little things in there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just a little treasure trove of ghosty ghosts.
Well, and that happens sometimes. You know, one spirit obviously will be very pronounced, but we've gotten a few things where we're like, wait,
there's something else.
there is also
Yeah.
something else. Because, I mean, if there's one, there's who's to say there's not going to be
Look
multiple.
in the shadows.
Look in the shadows, and you might just find Jigsaw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to give a diagnosis of what it is without knowing anything about the location.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, the woman could have died in a horrific manner, knew how she died, and that's why she looks so mangled.
Could have been shot through the eye.
Yeah. But it also could be a number of other things, manifesting in this way specifically to elicit fear is quite a possibility. Just a number of different situations, and her little sidekick doesn't make it any better. Well, that's super disturbing.
Someone sent us a photo, and I haven't
great.
given a good look. But since we kind of blew through those, I will. I'm gonna show people this. I'm gonna show y'all this. 1 second. Boopity boop bop 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 bop. All right, and okay, so y'all take a look at that. Look at that photo, and this person, Ashara, said, I am following up from a TikTok message I sent about this photo. This was taken on a Monterey ghost tour in Monterey, California. We were outside an old jail, and everyone had just gotten back on the tram. I snapped this picture of my daughter, Kayla. There was nobody outside, and this isn't a reflection from anyone inside. When I enlarged the photo to see what was behind her, we were terrified.
Oh,
All right, so
always a good thing.
yeah. So I think they're talking about that.
Oh, sure.
I think they're talking about the face
Right.
right above her head. Pair of Junkies, I'll show you one more time.
That's weird.
You look right above her head. I think that's what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, it does look like it has a nose and like a
Yeah.
whole
Like almost
T-zone.
Yeah.
Android look to him.
Yeah.
It does. That's
Like
giving
an artificial person.
yeah, that's giving alien in a way.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Just like the
those muted features.
yeah, and it's like now the luminance might be from flash or whatever because it looks like it was dark in there, but it kind of has like a little bit of a glow around it. Can you airdrop that to me?
Yep. I
Okay.
sure can. Airdropping it right meow.
Yeah, because it's definitely a really strange photo because I wouldn't think necessarily that it is somebody who's also on the tram because it doesn't look ultra human. It looks like somebody standing outside of the tram that's miniature, which is weird.
Yeah.
What also?
So did you get it?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so
I'm
Chris, she has
zooming
it
in.
you can zoom in and see it.
What I'm also feeling like because of its small size is what if it's a fae?
Faye?
Oh, Faye. Sure.
Just because it's small, I mean, it's not uncommon for fae to have very angular sort of, depending on what fae you're dealing with, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's necessarily a human created spirit. It's just like you can almost see it looks a little bit like a 90s actor with his hair swooping.
A 90s actor.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
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 With that swooping motion down the sides of the face. But what's weird about it as well is that, there's such a distinguished nose, but there's no eyes, which is off-putting for sure.
Yep.
And I feel like also you would have noticed a face like that if it was like, while you're taking a photo. Like, I feel like you would notice if somebody was standing outside at the window of the tram.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on first blush, I would say that that's stained glass catching reflection of a flash, but it does very much look like a face. It's so very clearly, a face.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great photo nonetheless, and just fun. If anything, it's, fun, spooky bait, if you will, because we can always make our own assumptions, but obviously we can never fully know what all is going on in the situation. But yeah, it's a great photo nonetheless, and thank you so much for sending it in. But y'all, I think that is all that we have for you today. So thank you so much again for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day whenever you are listening to this. And if you have a ghost photo that you would like to send in to us, you can send it to ghostmail@hauntedcitypodcast.com. Just make sure you put Ghost Caught on Camera in your subject so that we can distinguish it from all the other ghost mails, since we use those for 2 different segments. But other than that, y'all, thank you again. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and stay spooky, y'all.